taking it for business, we don't have a lot of use for it as far as a parking lot, but it's always been listed as a parking lot. I think because when you have a business, you have to have so many parking spaces around that business. Now it's become less of a use as a funeral home parking lot and more of a thoroughfare, which I understand there's new construction going on at the church pretty soon, and they use our parking lot to come rolling in and rolling out. On the other side, we got the dollar store bringing the tractor trailer trucks through, and they tarnished our building and stuff going back and forth and ruined our parking lot too. We just spent some money trying to build it back up just to keep it going. But we're just not time to pick on a small business there for the usage. I'm sorry to tell you, I think if you've gone down to my neighborhood, you've gone into my parking lot, you sat there for a while, you'd see what the story is down there. Just so you know.
Have you ever thought about, and I'm just asking this question, people are, it sounds like unauthorized people are using the.
No, we have neighbors. We have the community.
Okay.
I mean, where would we be in business if we didn't take care of our community?
Okay.
We're on the
So
south.
putting up a gate or anything.
We're on the
you're
south.
not
We're on
gonna
the
do
south
that.
side.
Yeah.
You've been down there. I mean, you can't put up anything without someone destructing it.
Yeah.
The neighbors, they leave left and right. I mean, I just drove down Genesee Street. I was just telling, down Genesee Street, half the places are closed on Genesee Street coming down here. Car dealerships, everybody's gone. And I said, I'm going to get a double assessment on a parking lot that has nothing to it. I just thought that was time to speak up. 45 years I've been funeral director here, and I paid all my taxes, come and don't complain about anything, and now I get this assessment, and it's a killer. It's going to kill my business because it's another overhead that every business is getting from everybody trying to make ends meet.
Can't dispute that. All right. So nothing else to tell me about the parking lot or tell us about the parking lot. It is what it is.
No improvements. There's just some blacktop on top of it. We just filled in some holes this fall because we didn't want anybody to get hurt on the blacktop.
So I know it was part of a neighborhood reassessment. Anything to add based on what the petitioner has stated?
Not a ton. We got the parking lot. We didn't get the funeral home. I think the comps didn't support that. And while we really do like to be objective and call them as we see them, we're sensitive. Don't want to tax anybody out of business and don't want to.
Thank you, I appreciate that, because as a small business owner, and I have a lot of friends, small business owners starting to feel the city's not taking care of them.
Yeah.
All they hear is Micron, and they hear SU, and they hear the mall, and little businesses are there for how many centuries? Like I said, 1865, we've been in business downtown. And
We know who keeps the lights on the 500 block and who mows the lawn and
Yeah.
who doesn't. And your corner is obviously a better corner for a reason.
Yeah, we try to keep it up. We have pride in our business. I just wish the city of Syracuse had more to give us,
The argument about the cut through is intriguing. That's not something that has occurred to me sitting in the parking lot across the street at 441 at the dollar store, looking at your property.
Yep.
That we've one of our 4 comps is 303 Slocum, just around the corner. That was sold encumbered by an easement for the Pathfinder Bank. That's a real quantifiable decrease in value. I think it was when they sold it. It is as our assessment reflects the value. I think there might be something there. We'd be happy to look at that in that context. If your property is not 100% used and enjoyed by you because other property owners lost their curb cuts and are using it, maybe we're a little high right now.
Yeah, right over there, they took all the driveways, most of them are over that side.
Yeah, coming
And
off Midland or
Makes everybody go around.
Yeah.
Because they wanted West Onondaga Street to slow down or whatever the reason. County put these berms that are going like this outside. You can't even plow there properly.
Yep.
And then when they do plow, they want to push it onto the sidewalks. And then we have to take care of all the problems. No, I'm not griping about that. That's part of business all my years.
Sure.
But to turn around and see that section of my parking lot now double almost, because I don't know why. Because it's not because it's improved. It's not like the other places on the corners have improved and these big corporations have bought them and redid the parking lots.
Yeah.
Pathfinder Bank got a lot over there now.
And that's
On the
worth
other side-
reiterating for the record. This was not a physical change. This was an equalization change. Just
Right,
that this had slipped below market since '07 or before, but no recent physical changes to merit an increase. But this, we often tell taxpayers that we'd love to have a 360-degree view of things before I sign the roll in March. We can't always do that without the public coming in. We discussed this on the phone, I
Yep,
think.
and that's why I thought you
So,
did a good
so
job.
the pass
discussing
through,
it.
this sort of, this helps flesh out our understanding of the situation. So we appreciate that.
Yep, that's why I came down. It took my time to come down.
Yep.
I figured somebody's got to listen to what's happening.
Yeah, no question about that. And I'll also add, though, and again, we'll discuss and determine what we're going to do, of course. However, sometimes we do look at, well, a lot of times we look at the last time it was reassessed. And you're saying now 2007 or so?
At least '07, nothing, prior to this, nothing since RPS.
Remember, there's nothing improving either, because someone else on the other corners can put in a brand-new Walmart or any kind of big store on those corners. That's not helping my parking lot one street off. In fact, I'm getting beat up behind the neighborhood by the people coming through and everything else they do, the people that walk the curbs, right, Brian? They'll tell you the kids play back in the side streets. Cops don't come back here anymore. They used to sit in the back parking lot and watch the whole neighborhood. We haven't seen the police anymore. The whole, we always get the bad name of the block, this South Side. They want to, West Onondaga Street, look at the buildings up and stuff. But this is blocked back and to the left. That's all we have. You don't have any more. I know the city's looking for money. I know, but taxing the wrong guys. Everybody else seems to have tons of money for all these other projects. Now, I understand they're going to be putting stuff over by the old church here, right? Is that what I heard? Project going on over there?
Hope so, yeah. I haven't heard anything
So
recently.
there's an improvement of taxes for you. Versus the small guys that's been struggling to stay afloat.
What is that all about?
The old Trinity and the Gillette House, I think, have some investors looking to put in, what is it? Brewery,
Brewery,
restaurant, something along those
Yeah,
lines.
they want to
Okay.
take the church over. We've heard a lot of things. But whatever they do, the Gillette House, they just ripped the back of it off because it was falling apart. Again, blight that we've been living with. So we're so glad to see something done, don't get me wrong. But they never did anything. How many years have they done anything? You asked saying, well, you haven't had an assessment in 7 years, 13 years. But they haven't done anything in 13 years. They leave these buildings vacant. They haven't ripping down in the bums and the drug addicts and everybody using the buildings. We're not seeing any help. And then you get the bad taste is when you get that tax assessment. It isn't a bump for 1,000 or 2,000. It's almost double.
Yes, so point's well taken. Are you going to relook at this or
Yeah,
leave it up to us?
We've got some, certainly we defer to the board. We've got some decent data on that type of encumbrance, like not an easement on record, but a practical easement. So I'd like to look at the numbers again in that regard.
We
but-
appreciate you looking, at least giving us a fair shot. But you can't compare a small place in the back somewhere to half these places that are built up in shopping malls. Like you said, for the bank, they got that whole Eastern Ambulance and the whole thing back there. It's a whole different ballgame than my little spot in the back. I think you'll agree there. Because we ain't making any more money than when they build that over there.
Yeah, we do have to be a little sentimentally agnostic on these things.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Market-derived interpretations, but I understand where you're coming from.
Okay, I do, and I appreciate everyone's work today.
Yeah.
I'm not a political speaker, so I'm not really that good at this. We talked on the phone, you were very nice. But I wanted to show up, make sure I spoke my mind, and try to stand up for what's left.
Yeah, no, that's excellent, and we want you to do that, because there's, we're not down there daily, and so therefore, we don't necessarily know what's going on,
Right.
so it's important to hear that.
Once you get off the side streets, you know that is. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your time. I'm sure you'll let me know what's going on, and I appreciate your work, okay?
Thanks,
Okay,
Steve.
thank you very much for coming in. The city will send you a notice first week of April. Okay, thank you.
If
Take
my
your
bad
time.
knee would work.
Take your time, take your time.
Thank you. Hey, good luck.
that's the next one, and then this is the last one.
Okay. Is that just for morning?
No, that's all it says.
Make any more coffee.
That's all. You can come on up if you like.
Is funeral director day?
Hey, Jed.
Must be. Very well.
Coffee?
No, I'm all set. I got my cup in this morning.
Did you?
Yep.
Just one,
Just one. It was a healthy one. But it was just one.
18 ounces.
It's a full. Did its job.
Okay, so you're here for 507 Emerson Ave?
Correct.
Okay. Let me just swear you in, and then I'll read it in and take it from there. If you can raise your right hand, state your name for the record.
Chad Ryan?
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so let me read this in here. 507 Emerson Ave. This is a rental, so is this
Correct.
one family, two family?
So it's a 5-unit,
5-unit?
and I can just start talking. You can tell me when to stop talking. This is the first time I've done this. So,
All right, well, let me read in a few numbers then. So it's a 5-unit, current tentative assessed value of $165,000 with a land value of 28,300.
that sounds wrong.
The land value?
28.3.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, it's part of the
I
one.
wrote it down.
It's part of the 165.
Okay,
though.
okay.
Not on top of.
Yes, not on top
No,
of.
I know. I thought I was thinking 264 in my head.
Well, yes, so the full market value off of 165 is 264,000. What we do is we just go over these numbers so we can compare apples to apples. So now I think you're probably gonna wanna change this.
Yeah. What?
You're probably gonna wanna change this. So what you're saying is you think the, property is worth 264,000.
Yeah, I don't want that to say that.
Okay. So what do you want it to say?
So,
Form's
Oh,
not
okay,
clear
I
on
see.
this. The
Did
form
I-
doesn't
did I
speak
fill it?
apples to apples.
I
This
probably
is,
filled it out wrong.
well,
Okay.
the form's not too clear. The state boilerplate is, leaves something to be be
All right, but so what it does say here is
confuses
that
us,
you
too.
think
It's
the
okay.
property value is 185,000.
Correct.
Okay. And that does say it down here on the other sheet.
And realistically, I guess, for transparency is I guess I would probably say 200. When I was filling out the application, it said, don't put something too high in case the board might think it might be less, you know?
Right.
So I put that number, realistically, I think it's probably around 200,000.
All right, so we'll leave it at 185 then, as far as the form is concerned, which would be an equatable assessed value of 115,625. Point taken that you think that it might be a little bit higher than the 185, but we'll use that as a basis, I think. It's probably good, and then if I could just add, it looks like in January of 2021, you purchased it for 100,000?
Correct, yeah, and that was from my father, so that was,
Okay, I see that.
he gave me that price with the idea that he thought it was worth somewhere in the 130 to 140 range, and that was what he said, I'll sell it to you for this. So that was a family sale.
Yep. And that's, I'm glad you pointed that out. And I'm just going to go through and look at a few things while you're explaining the situation. And I'm sorry to interrupt, but last question, was this an increase?
This was a significant increase, yeah.
This was a significant increase.
We
and the
went
last
from
time
9
it was assessed?
Prior to 07,
Okay, and what was it?
91.1. So this was carrying a very low assessment for a long time, and you know, candidly, we thread a needle that is very ugly in year one. Sometimes we'd rather increase them periodically, a little bit each year, rather than hitting somebody with this kind of liability all in one shot. And the times we don't, we often hear about it.
Okay, all right, so,
So my argument's really just about the property. I'm not sure what comparables were used. I think I don't want to say unique property because it's not unique, but it's a 5-unit property, and it's 5 separate units, 5 bedrooms. It's on the other side of, when I say the other side, I live towards the park. So it's on is that the north side of West Genesee Street?
Short block by the school.
The short block by the School of Emerson. The culture of that side of West Genesee Street, I think, is different than the culture of the other side of West Genesee Street, which we've seen become a hotbed of a great rental market for young folks that want to live near the bars and in a happening neighborhood. And these houses it's been tremendous for the housing market over there. My tenants are not those folks. I think I serve a different group of people from different socioeconomic backgrounds. The rents over there's an efficiency that gets $390 with utilities, and it's usually a difficult apartment to deal with because it doesn't even fit a bed. You got to have a futon or a couch, or it doesn't work. So it's not like that's. I got 2 decent apartments in there. One gets $525, one gets $520, and then 2, I'll say nice, for $725, $750. And so, it's got 5 beds in it. And so when I went to look for comparables, I tried to look for houses that were similar in size, without, and maybe I'm doing this totally wrong, but trying to find a 5-unit house was difficult. Just because they don't make too many of them. And so the ones that I found, most of them were 2, 3, or 4 units. None of them were 2, 3, 4 units, something like that. A lot of them had more beds. And maybe I'm wrong to, kind of use the bed theme of like, what can you get per bedroom, And I chose properties all on, well, I guess one's on this side. It's up near, it's up off West Jenny. That was near the corner of Avery there. And so the property is in good condition, but I wouldn't say it's worth $264,000. Again, I just think this side of West Jenny has its own culture and vibe, and it doesn't lend itself to command the rents that the other side of West Genesee Street will. Obviously, any 5-unit house that you get is going to generate some income if you can collect it. And I think the rents that I get and the neighborhood that it's in, 264, I think, is a little generous.
did you get all the rents?
390, a range from 395 to 725?
Yeah, 390, 525, 725, 750, 520.
Okay, and I get what you're saying as far as one side of Genesee to the other.
And maybe the formula comes out and you guys are like, nah, you gotta pay that. But I think it's over on the other side of West Jenny. Those houses aren't selling for that, and they got 5 bedrooms in a lot of them. Some of them are just split family houses with 2 and 3 bedrooms, and they're getting $750 a bedroom. Generating them more income, and I don't, maybe they're getting assessed at 264. I don't know.
Okay. So let's move over to the city and see what.
Yeah, but petitioner makes some interesting points. The striations among the neighborhood, or the entire Tip Hill West End section of the city, historically have broken on West Genesee Street. When we redid the neighborhood maps in '21, we did that on the backs of data showing that what used to be two halves to this district were now three. So we now have south of Schuyler, between Schuyler and I believe Erie, maybe Cayuga, and then West End is its own animal over there. So this is kind of that middle neighborhood. But that said, as you notice, 5 beds or 5 units are hard to come by. There's a lot of 4s.
Yep.
There's tons of 2s, a couple 3s. So we only have one comp that's a 5, and 3 of our 4 comps are south of this neighborhood. We used, and I provided this to the board, but we used 423 Schuyler, 200 Ulster, 200 South Wilbur. That one's a 5, and then 1748 West Genesee. So 3 of those are, we'd have to adjust for location, but I agree, in a markedly better valuation neighborhood. And going forward, it's going to be interesting to see how these lines get redrawn again. If there is a reval, the vendor will likely redraw our neighborhoods again for us. So those 2021 maps might be ancient history at that point. But as we said to the previous gentleman, we appreciate the 360-degree view that grievance provides us. I think, although the 1-year bump is totally unpalatable, we were comfortable. We are comfortable with our comps. We're comfortable with the numbers, but contract rent is a different thing from market rent. We've got market rents, 900 to 1,000 monthly for 1 beds in the subject neighborhood. Contract rents, and you're not putting anybody out on the street yesterday or today, are a lot lower than market rents. That's part of value. So I think the board certainly will take that into consideration. It's good background for us to have that we don't have a line of sight into when putting these numbers on in the fourth quarter. So we appreciate that.
Yeah, I think it was good that you came in, especially I have a few pieces of income property and I'm way below market as well. Less headaches. Stay for a while. I've got one tenant that's been there over 20 years. The rent's $650 on a 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath duplex.
Should be easy to
in
rent if he
Lindcourt.
moves out.
In Lindcourt, yes. And I've been wanting to sell the property for the last many years. It was the first property we bought. And they're like, I'll kill you if you sell this property, because they know the rents. Anyway, so I appreciate where you're coming from, and I think we're the same type of person with respect to that and dealing with that type of occupant. So, anything else you want to add?
No, that was it. That was what I had, so.
Okay,
All right.
that sounds good, and so, we'll, not looking at anything more from you, we'll, take everything into consideration, then the city will send you a notice first
Appreciate
week
it.
of April.
Appreciate it. Thank you so
And
much.
Thank you for coming in.
All right, thanks, board.
Yeah, I did. Oh, yeah, if you could, I was gonna get it after, we just made a note of it. We'll be right with you, if you could just, hold on one second, I just wanna make a note. All right, so on the first one, you're gonna re-review.
Yeah, we've got some data. In fact, I think we just applied that. Oh, that was a different matter. But anyhow, yeah, we'll give that a look. This one, now that you have contract rents, I think that's just a better line of sight than we had. That was 4 1-beds, 1 efficiency, and you've got the rents on it. Okay, cool. I'll just,
Yeah, so we're good there, and,
yeah, below market. We're not looking to penalize anybody who's renting below market. That's
yeah,
the value should reflect that.
certainly, needed to be looked at, of course, given the last time it was looked
91.1's pretty low for a 5-unit.
at, for sure.
That's
And I
it.
think he understood that.
Oh yeah, it's just that an increase of $74,000 in a year.
It's tough.
Nobody takes that sitting down, or should.
Okay, if you'd like to come up, sir, You're here for 306 Lewis Street. Yeah, please come on up, have a seat. How you doing today?
Pretty good.
So I'm going to swear you in. You are here for 306 Lewis Street,
Right.
okay? And then I'll read some information into the record, and then I'll turn it over to you.
Right.
So if you could raise your right hand, state your name for the record.
Gary D. Smith.
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Okay, great. So once again, this is 306 Lewis Street. This is a two-family frame structure. And let me just confirm some numbers here. Okay, so just going to correct a couple things here. It looks like the current tentative assessed value is 74,000.
Right.
Okay, and that's, has a land value of 10,600 included in the 74,000. So 74,000 assessed value would equate to 118,400 market value. Petitioner believes the fair market value is $80,000, which would be an assessed value of $50,000. Let me just look through your application real quick. So it looks like back in 1978, you purchased the property for $23,900.
That's correct.
Yeah, paid cash. And then got a few notes here, which you'll touch on, I'm sure. If not, I'll read them in. And, okay, I think we've got enough information initially to turn it over to you.
Right. Well, first of all, your statement mentioned income from the property. And I haven't really rented that property out for about 20 years. Currently, my son is living up there, and I charge no rent. And I originally rented the place, the upper apartment out, but with the damage that was done and the parties and stuff like that, it wasn't worth it. So it's been used as a single-family house for a good 20-plus years.
Is it still set up as a two-family?
Yes.
Okay, it's still,
Yeah.
so it's still set up as a two-family. You didn't do anything to physically turn it back into a one-family?
No.
No, it's just your son lives there, and should the next person that owns the property decide to use it as a rental property, it'd be turnkey and ready to go?
Yes, that's essentially true. The upper floor is in good condition.
Okay, all right, go ahead.
All right, well, I'm not sure how you reevaluated the property, but I know that you have not been inside, and there are a couple issues there, I think, that would detract from the value of the house. One is my furnace, and that was there when I bought the house. It's about 75 years old. It's a coal furnace converted to a gas unit. Been very, very dependable. I've never had it fixed in 47 years, but you can see that there's a lot of asbestos
The old
involved with that.
octopus
Yeah.
type, and, yep. Yeah. So yes, they're good old units, but understanding.
It comes on
it-
every year.
Yeah,
I think I had repairman down there one time.
Yeah.
and,
but would be a major overhaul.
I would guess about $8,000 to $10,000 with the asbestos abatement.
Yeah, I was gonna say, now, let me ask, is it just the one unit down there and it heats the whole
Only one
house?
furnace that heats the whole
One,
house.
okay, so we've got one furnace that heats the whole house, so the heat's included, if you will, if it was a two scenario. How about the electric service? Is that separate?
Separate,
Electric is separate, circuit
Yes.
breaker?
yes.
Okay. And, okay, so probably one hot water tank?
Yes.
Okay. Are these for us to hold
Yeah, you
on
can
to?
have them.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that sounds good. It looks like you've got a few other pictures.
Yes, the other issue that may have been missed in the reassessment is the retaining wall on the west side of the house. It has a lean of about 1 inch per foot. And it's in pretty poor repair.
Is this your retaining wall?
Yes. In the spring, I'll probably have somebody come out there and redo the obvious defects. But you know, if I were ever to have to replace that wall, it'd be about $40,000 to $50,000 with digging it all out. And the wall runs from 2.5 foot to 6.5 foot. And you can tell the lean if you look at the
Oh, yeah.
This is,
I don't think it's going to go anywhere in the near future, but
you're across, so up above, across from the church and the school, the old St. Bridget's, is that where this is, or
across in the park.
across from Lewis Park? Okay.
Lewis Park. On Lewis Street
Oh,
across.
I'm
from the
thinking
park.
Lewis, okay, okay,
Lewis.
gotcha.
Okay. Yeah, that's an undertaking, you know, we take these things into consideration, but certainly maintenance is, you know, up to the homeowner. So
True, but if I were to sell the property and a home inspector came through, I'm sure he would pick up on these
Sure,
things.
sure.
And the price
Now-
would be knocked down.
Yeah, yeah, that is part of it for sure. Okay. Anything else as far as the pictures?
Well, I do have two vacant properties next to me. They've been empty for about 5 or 6 years, and they attract a lot of kids.
Are these right next door?
Yeah, I'm 306. The first one's 308, then the other one is 310.
Both been vacant for a while.
Yes.
Yeah, certainly that makes a little effect as well. Okay. Anything else there, or
No, these are just duplicates.
miscellaneous? Okay. Let me come over to the city if I could, and
We do have sales. This property is bracketed pretty well by the sales. That said, it's predicated on, I think, the upper unit being, I mean, it's occupied, but it's not rented. I think that's an important part of the equation. Best comp, let's see, bracketed 100,000 to 134,000. Mean of 118, median of 120. That said, I think the most on point right now is 225 Hayden, which is 107, which would indicate an assessed value of about 67, down from the 74 we have on the tentative roll. I think that might be getting a little closer to where we should be. This is 2 beds on the ground floor, 3 beds on the second, or the other way around?
It's 3 bedrooms down.
3 down and 2 up. Okay. Little over 1,300 square feet. I think it's safe to say that with the knowledge we've gotten today, we're probably a little high at 74. So we'd recommend an assessment of, I think, $66,000, probably assessed would be fair.
okay, so just so I'm understanding, or we're understanding, current tentative assessed value of 74,000, the city is recommending $66,000. Okay, so just to explain that, that doesn't mean that's what we're going to do, but the city is recommending an adjustment from 74,000 down to 66,000 based on your information.
We'd known on December 31st what you presented today, that would be the number we'd have put on the roll, not the 74.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and the only thing we'll say, or I'll say, is, you know, and I understand everything that you're saying. However, it's a choice, of course, that your son is living there and rent-free and the other apartment is vacant. I get that. But, you know, you're not using the property on its highest and best use, which would be, you know, two-family and what have you. So we have to take that into consideration too. And so, but we'll take what the city has said and discuss, and of course your pictures, and you know, you certainly have made a good argument, and then the city will send you a notice first week of April. Anything you want to add?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I do have my tax returns for the last 3 years.
Okay.
Showing that there's no rental income.
Rental income, and that's fine, and I appreciate you bringing that. I don't think that we need to collect those, but we certainly can.
Assessment sure doesn't need to hold them unless the board does.
Yeah, no, that's fine, but appreciate you bringing those as requested. And, but we're, you know, you're under oath, and we definitely believe that you're not collecting any income from that. Okay, sounds good. So the city will send you a notice first week of April, and thanks again for coming in.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Sir. Yeah, I'm gonna have to have a little chat. This is. And that's nobody else scheduled.
Nobody else scheduled.
Oh, thank you,
First
dear.
100% attendance day. Congratulations. Matt.
For these
For these guys.
And how's that for a full-throated defense of city values? We're three for three
Yes.
being pushovers today.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say, you were being very reasonable.
Yeah. What an easy residential day.
I got a few things to chat about with everybody offline if I could.
Yeah. Get out of your hair and, hey, Dave.
There are no IT issues today, sir.
Hi, I'm from the government, I'm here to help.
That's what we tell people.
I don't see any blood on the floor, nothing. I don't see any chairs askew or anything. What the hell's the drama?
Taxpayers came in to help the people from the government today. They gave us good information.
Yeah, we'll chat with Michelle, and then she can fill you in, I think.
Chat with the staff about whatever for next year. Take
Have
advantage
fun.
of the warm weather and these last few weeks.
It looks like, Syracuse.com is reporting that storm that's headed
Not
here is
even come close to you.
gonna miss us.
Yep.
Oh, really?
New York City might get a foot, we're gonna get nothing.
Nothing.
So weird this year.
March weather.
Are you
We're
from
in another
Syracuse?
drought.
Yeah,
You're right. The snowpack to melt.
Yeah.
Oh, you from the island?
Yes.
What part?
Smithtown?
Yeah. Played lacrosse with a lot of people from the island in college. Back in the,
That's
You're
Buffalo
familiar?
needs to watch
Well, my
out. They could
sister-in-law's
very well get
south.
another.
Yeah.
They dumped on again.
yes.
Golden Snowball Award is, Will and their
how close to
It's
Levittown?
definitely not gonna be Syracuse.
It's hard to not, I mean, last
Yeah,
week,
yeah, some,
Thursday,
I
Friday.
went to
we drove by
RIT
a
for
golf
2
course,
years and then
packed.
Nazareth for 2
I mean,
years.
it's just-
But at
it's hard
RIT,
to
I
not
played with a bunch of
feel like
guys
it's
from,
April, and it's, I keep reminding myself, it's not even
Levittown,
February 15th yet.
Syosset,
The ski operators have equity in golf courses.
Yes.
and,
Were you here
I'll think
when
of some
the
others. But, so that was all
ski guy
pretty
the
much,
other day was,
Nassau County, yes, yeah.
he was
Yeah.
kind of
Never
explaining
actually been to the
how it
island.
works or whatever,
My
because-
brother-in-law
I was sitting in the back, I
lives,
thought I was the
or
only guy
lived
who,
actually,
Yeah.
his kids
Yeah,
are
yeah,
still
no,
there in Milford, Connecticut,
Yeah, no,
which is
he's-
the other
he's
side.
a medic, right?
And
He's
so
a-
when
yeah,
you're
ski
looking
patrol.
across,
Oh.
you can see the island,
Yeah.
right?
And he said that
And
people
was
get hurt
always
more on man-made
intrigued
stuff.
and must have been a
So
real
they're
cool
having,
place to
they actually
grow
have
up.
more
in.
I'm
injuries this
actually-
winter, even though they've got less.
30 years,
more
yeah,
on
awesome.
synthetic.
And to get to the water was all pretty convenient,
Football
right?
players got hurt more in
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an awesome, awesome part of
I'm
New
not
York.
surprised with skiing because even, I mean, it's been a while since I skied, but I always hated skiing the
Absolutely.
man-made stuff. I like the,
Yo-yo weather, there's a lot more
Absolutely.
Or even Lake Ontario, I feel like to drive a little bit, even to Lake Ontario.
Yeah, yeah.
The closer to the
that,
ocean
like,
we have.
Oh, yes, yes, and it's very close, you
Yeah.
know, as far as the,
Yeah.
you know, light, fluffy
such a
snow.
huge body of
Yeah.
water. So
And
I
the
call
lakes
it
and
the,
then all the-
yeah, the
yeah.
ocean anyway.
I mean,
We did have
Go down
daffodils,
to
for period on Friday
Did you?
when I got home.
Yeah.
It was Saturday morning, so that's when I started more.
So,
The deer.
love,
they saw it.
Jersey and
Yeah, those are gone.
they saw to taking
kids
care of
love
them.
it.
I saw a robin this weekend.
Yeah,
Glad to have you here.
the birds are all.
Is your family still back
The
there?
Cardinals are definitely
Dad's still
back.
down.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
They'll be,
They're not gonna like it if we get,
they'll be very angry if it snows in March.
Yeah,
That's the thing, everything is
absolutely,
cleaned up when that happens.
absolutely.
oh, and that's the problem, and then
Well,
you
again,
have
we're,
the trees that start to
how long
bud,
you
and
been
then
up
we
here?
get a really hard freeze, and
The apples last spring.
Yeah.
that's why it's,
Okay, so you've been here for a while. Did you go to SU? Yeah, cool.
we're gonna have early
Very
spring,
nice.
we need to just stay
They're having,
early spring.
A little tough basketball year, but they're young. They'll, I think the Autry will head in
Well, they're
the right
yo-yoing.
direction.
Speaking of Syracuse.com, top earning Syracuse employees, you can search.
They got the county out of the way last week. so
Right.
now it's time for
Your
our-
guys' turn.
Oh, really?
Well, that's everybody's favorite.
Yeah. And then there was, and then there was a bunch of sheriffs, a bunch of police before you got to,
Usually
like the county
those are
executive.
overtime things.
Right, right. Because of overtime and what have you.
Especially, you can usually tell who's getting close to retirement.
Yeah, right.
People who
Right.
are all of a sudden
Yeah,
working 40 hours a week in overtime.
yeah.
yeah.
But our guys should be doing more evening readings. Get some comp time for it. We don't give comp time, we don't give overtime. It means, like others.
All right, well, thank you for today.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I'll be down soon. Am I dropping that off downstairs or still holding on to it for right now?
Heard from Tommy, but I think you're probably good to drop.
Okay. Perfect, thank you.
I just wanted to go offline and chat a minute. Without saying it. Yeah, I'll top her, and that's great. Thank you for that.
Of course.
And just wanted to ask a couple questions. No coffee for you?
I like cream and sugar, so
You what?
I like cream and sugar.
We can,
We'll just go out there because they automatically, WCM.
Usually have another cup when I get home.
yeah, we're gonna go out there.
Leave a cup.
I brought, yeah, I brought the cups anyway, so we're good. We didn't cost them any. It's gonna be awful expensive. tomorrow's donuts,
Yeah.
Michelle, so you don't yell at me.
If you're going from Dunkin', should get some glazed chocolate and some glazed blueberry.
Yeah, I just thought, just wanted to ask a couple questions, and then, that'll be that.